There you go. I'm so honored and excited and just so grateful to be asked to speak before you today. My topic is, let me find the clicker here. My topic is getting off to a fast start. And that really hits home with me because I came into Primerica, and guys, I had a $1,500 a month goal. Anybody had that kind of goal? It was small thinking for me, but that's where I was at that time. You know, I just said, hey, if I can make $1,500 a month here in Primerica, I'll give it a try. What do I have to lose? I spent $100 in Walmart. That was my attitude when I came in here. Small thinking, right? So again, let's talk about getting off to a fast start. When is a recruit the most excited? When they're brand new, right? You do know that, right? Okay, so our job as a leader, guys, is to get them off to a fast start, and that's how I came in here. So right away, you want to call them in for their orientation, and we do that within the first 24 to 48 hours. Now, have you ever asked a recruit to come in for orientation? They told you, well, no, I can't do it until next week. Okay? Well, let me ask you a question. Does the coach on the football field allow the players to call the play? Let me ask you again. Does the coach on the football field allow the players to call the play? So why would you allow the new recruit to call the play? You are the head coach. You have to call the play. And I tell them, hey, let me ask you something. You want me to set you up for success, right? Throw it back on their court. They'll say, well, yeah. Okay, well, I need you to come in here within 24 to 48 hours. This is what time I have available. You are the head coach. You get them in there for that orientation because it's so important. Okay? These are the expectations that you guys are going to have to cover with them when they come in. No, 1 second. All right. First of all, that top 25 is imperative. All right? And I know sometimes, you know, if they're in a rush or they can't do it, but guess what? They need to be faxing you, emailing you, but they got to get you that top 25 right away. Because how can you set them up for success? You know, you have to tell them, help me so I can help you. Okay? Now, top 25 is important. Meeting attendance. And again, these are expectations that you're going to have to go over with that new recruit because they don't know. Remember, if you don't tell them, they don't know. So meeting attendance, you got to tell them about meeting attendance. You know, I remember when I was brand new, I said, hey, I didn't sign up to come and you have to come to all these meetings. I didn't know I was going to do that because that wasn't an expectation that was told to me, right? It was something that I kind of figured out because I saw it was a pattern. Every week they wanted me to come in there for a Thursday night meeting, right? So you got to make sure that you make that known up front, okay, and tell them why. Now, what I do love about the new IBAs, when you're putting IBAs in now, guys, I love that they ask you, hey, they want to go to class this week. This is the next schedule available. I love that because it reminds you right there while they're in front of you, hey, can you go to class this weekend? We do have one available this weekend. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, what about next weekend? You've got to create a sense of urgency, all right? I'm from Georgia. We're in a temp license state, and I was sharing a little bit yesterday on the panel. We're removing that word from our vocabulary, temp, right? So we want to know, when can you go to class right away? And guys, when they come in for orientation, a lot of times the new recruit is overwhelmed. You're giving them a lot of information. So a lot of it does what? Goes over their head, right? So we also put in place a welcome letter. How many leaders give welcome letters to their new recruits that come in? Okay, if you don't, that might be something you want to implement. Because that way when they leave you, they forgot half of the stuff you told them anyway. Maybe they wrote it down, maybe they didn't. But if they have something they can reference when they get home that tells them, our welcome letter said, welcome to the Dream Makers. Okay? It says, this is how you set up your POL. This is how you set up direct deposit. How many people use direct deposit? You love to hear from do not reply, right? That's my best friend. I'm always checking every night. I don't get a do not reply. And I freak out, right? So you got to tell them how to set up direct deposit. Because remember, our goal is to help them get some money in their pockets right away too, right? So they need direct deposit set up. And you need to find out their why. You know, I always tell my teammates, if your why doesn't make you cry, that's probably not your why. So it's important that you sit down and ask them, what is your why? Because guess what? When they stop showing up, when they stop getting on the conference calls, you need to be having a one-on-one, reaching out to them, because it's about building relationships, right? And remind them of that why. Remember what you told me your why was? Hey, you got to get on board. Let's go get going, okay? Let's see here. Get a recruit within 24 to 48 hours. Why is that important? You guys ever thought about that? Because they feel like they have something to lose, right? Have you ever been in a position where somebody texts you and say, hey, I'm out. I don't think I can do this. And I always laugh. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, you're not going to give this a 30-day effort to improve your financial situation. Well, that's too bad because your new recruit is going to class this Friday. Oh, what? He is? Okay, so now they feel like they got something to lose. It happened to me last week. I had a new recruit, been in the business 4 days. She's like, I don't know if I can do this. Well, if you start telling yourself you can't do it, you probably can, right? Because the mind is powerful. And they probably not have anybody, not probably, but they don't have anybody talking positive language in their ear. And when a new recruit is a new recruit, guys, you have to be the loudest voice in their ear. Because promise you, when they walk out that door out of your office, they're going to call their sister, their cousin, like my own family, right? Very negative. So you've got to be that coach. You've got to be that positive influence, that positive go-to person that's in their ear. All right? All right, so making phone calls. When you get that top 25, depending on how you do it, but what we do, we don't have the new recruits start making phone calls. Because if they just walk out with a list, we make them a copy of their top 25 list. So they can, send out a text message to expect a call from my vice president, such and such. But if you just give them that list and think they're going to walk out and make appointments and make calls, forget about it. They're scared to do it. So you got to make calls in front of them so they can hear, they can see success, right? And I'll usually say, hey, I've got Susie sitting right here with me. She told me you're sharp, ambitious, just whatever. But the point is, you got to make calls in front of that new recruit because that way they say, oh my God, this is, okay, it's working. It's pretty easy. And they get excited. You got to set them up for success. You got to get them in the field as soon as possible. The same day, if possible, right? Have luck doing that. But the point is, you got to get them on some appointments. You've got to show them success. That is imperative that they see success. All right? Talk about how to advance to the next level and what advancement means to them and the requirements. Now, here's the deal. When I came in here, I didn't know anything about anything. I could sell a house with my eyes closed, right? I was never afraid of making money on commissions. So when people tell me, is it commission? I'm saying, do you have a problem with commissions? Because I certainly don't. Because you can't make the kind of money we make here, Primerica guys, on an hourly-based job. Hello? Okay? I would have made $18,000 like I did last month on an hourly-based job.
That's right.
Right? And 2 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you if you told me I could come in here and make $18,000, all right? Month before last, and I don't say that to impress anybody, but to impress on you that if I'm doing it, you can do it too.
That's right.
If you're brand new, you can come in here and go and get your ring within 22 months. You can go beat my record, But competition is a good thing. Tanya Cole is a dear friend of mine. Do we compete? Absolutely.
That's right.
When I came in here, I said, okay, what do I do? See, so the slide we're on now is talking about teaching your people how to advance. So you want to compete to be on that scoreboard, right? Top 25 in your state. Then compete to be number one. When we started dominating number one in Georgia, then Sam said, hey, now you got to compete with Tanya. I was like, oh, Lord, oh, really? Okay. So, my mind wasn't there yet. So, guys, we're really fighting to get the ring. That's the month we beat you, T-Pope. So we coming back.
That's right, baby. Let's go, baby.
Yes. So, and competition is fun, guys.
Yes.
So it pushes you. It pushes you to do better. Okay? So when I came in here, the guy who brought me in, I said, okay, what do I need to do? He said, go get you 3 recruits. Now, see, if you're talking to somebody who wants to win, don't have small thinking.
Right.
Don't talk to him with small language. Because he told me, to go and get 10. I would have had my 10.
Right.
But I had 3 in my first day. I knew 3 people that were like me, that were sharp, ambitious, wanted to do something big, right? So I had 3 recruits. I got my first promotion in 1 day. So I was like, okay, now what do I do? All right? So you got to explain to people. When he told me, you're going to get a pay raise. Oh, okay. So that motivated me to go out and get some recruits on my own. I didn't have to have them even talk to anybody. Guys, a lot of times when you're new, remember I said a new recruit is the most excited when they're new. So a lot of times you'll be able to attract people, especially if you have credibility with them, that you already know off your pure excitement. I didn't have this Primerica thing figured out. I didn't know, but I knew I had a passion. I knew I wanted to win, and I knew I had to run the play that my coach called. Okay? Remember that you must train to train because we're in a duplication business, okay? Lead by example. Don't expect your team to do something that you're not doing, okay? What do you look like saying, hey, team, let's get some recruits, and you're not recruiting anybody. Let's go get some premium. You're not doing any premium. Okay? Be on time for training Saturday, but you're walking in 10 minutes late. They're going to do what they see you do, okay? If you're texting, you're on Facebook, you're emailing during the training, what do you think they're going to do?
Same thing.
Okay? So people are watching you. When you're a leader, I don't care if you have one recruit in your team right now, you're a leader. You're leading somebody, okay? And be excited for your team, for your new recruits. When I got those 3 recruits that I'm about out of time, they told me, hey, it was a big deal. And I'm like, I didn't do anything, but just, and they're like, no, every little thing, guys, you got to make it a big deal. You got to be excited for your new teammates. You have to encourage them and show them how to win so they can go out and duplicate you. I'm proud to be your teammate, guys, and we're just getting started. I love you, ladies. Let's take this thing to the top.